Welcome to the Classic Car Enthusiast. Put up another video. I've managed to get the two closing panels on the end of the outer sills on the E-Type. One I've got lined up and it's welded in and not quite finished, but it's been ground back, and the other one I've literally just put into line and just welded it, so you can still see. I haven't cleaned it or anything. I've just the way it is, so you can see how quickly I can knock it back with those roll locks. Very, very good. There was a couple of quick things I wanted to show you. This is from a gentleman called Julian Page, who very kindly, he's doing an E-Type. It's a 1967 fixed head E-Type. And he very kindly, he asked me for the specifications of these. These fit inside the bonnet, and I'll show it being put on, and I'll just bring it up to the camera so you can see it. And you can see, sorry, the sun's coming here a bit here, and you can see he's made this with a thread in it, but he's made it, if you can see, it's the hole is slightly higher at the top, and the reason he's done that is so that it sits. It's very clever. So when you see it there, it sits perfectly in the centre. I mean, it looks, I mean, it's obviously, it has been manufactured but by hand, but it looks like something that's been stamped out. It's that well made. So thank you very much, Julian, for that. I very much appreciate it, and I'll put that on, and I'm sure when Nigel sees you at the E-Type Club meet or wherever at some time, he'll thank you for it, get you a pint possibly. The other one was I got a comment from Mike Owen, and he was saying, you know, thanks for explaining these sills and stuff. I mean, you know, I'm no expert in minis or anything. It's just a hobby I do. But I like to, and I think I've said this to the point of people getting fed up hearing it, but you know, a job's either worth doing right or it's just not worth doing. You know, bodging things and putting tiny little patches together, it's going to inherently make whatever it is inferior. So if you've got loads of holes and they're very close together, and you put little patch on top of patch and patch and patch and patch, you've weakened the whole structure. So it's a really bad idea to do that. If you've got a lot of holes, then take out the whole thing and completely replace it. Anyway, Mike dropped me a comment, and it's there for you to see. Mike Owen is his name, and his daughter had a Mini, and the toe board and the sills and the floor were put together. Somebody had stuck fiberglass in it, and she had a front end collision or an accident. Fortunately, she was okay, but it was quite a bad accident from what he's saying in the comment, which you can read. And of course it just crumpled because the guy put fiberglass in where metal should have been, and then he just put underseal or gunk over the top of it, this horrible thick stuff. And if you go and see a car and you see that on it, you can guarantee it's hiding something, and that's why it's there. So just walk away from it. But it's really imperative that structurally these vehicles are correct. We're taking our family in them, friends, children, whatever it might be, you know, and it's only a madman would get into a car where it's unsafe to drive, or it's a possibility. Minis were never very highly rated when it came to crash tests, I can tell you. It's nothing like it is nowadays. But even so, they are structurally made in a certain way, and fiberglass is structurally not sound. It's as simple as that. Not at high speed, it's not. It's structurally sound for low impact, but it will just splinter and break. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and when I start working on the Mini tomorrow, I'll put up another one on cutting out the doorstep. So stay safe, keep the faith, and enjoy your hobby. Bye. So as you can see, I'm just checking out these outer sills here, and what I've done is I've used a building laser, and you may be able to see if I stand back, you can see the laser line right the way across, and you can see that it's actually slightly higher up here, and this is why the gap is so big. So what we'll do is, in actual fact, I'll mark it now where it is, and we'll lead load it to that line. So that, because this is flush here completely on the scuttle and the wing, and obviously this on the other side it's perfect. This is the anomalies with kind of hand-built cars, which they were. How they put these bonnets together and did it in such quick time, I have no idea. They probably just knew all the techniques and where to tweak them over the years of making them, but you can see that's quite large. That it needs at least half of that filled, and on that side it's pretty much on the money. It might need a very light skin of lead, but here it needs, you know, a good few mil there. But this is one of the techniques you can use. You can use these, I mean, you don't have to be that fastidious, but with a car of this kind of price, or rarity, not rarity even because they're not that rare, but when you start to get into that, this is what people are looking at. Not that you shouldn't do the job the best you possibly can and get everything nice, but on an E-Type it really stands out when the coach lines are wrong, and because the bumpers completely cover the back and the front, but the side of the car is completely open, and because it's so curvaceous it sticks out like a sore thumb. If you ever see an E-Type in the street or look at one, first thing to do is look at these lines, and if this is not square here to here, and the scuttle to the bonnet is wrong, or the doors, it sticks out terribly. You can really notice your eye goes straight to it. So this is one way of doing it with this laser. So yeah, I did it with my last car and it worked spot on the money. So I'm more than happy to use it a second time. But that's the way to go. It's a good way of checking out whether the sills are right or not as well. And you can see the lines completely in the door gap, so you can see that that is straight, and it's across this in front of the A post, but it's just not quite right here. You can see it's just up. So what I'll do is I'll mark that where it is, and then we'll know what to work to. Okay, so this is one that I've just fitted in. I'll just see if I can zoom out. Zoom in slowly, and you can see I've actually just done the tacks and not even cleaned it yet. You can see where the spot welds are on it. I've just literally done that. And what's important with these for the E-Type guys is, one, you have to leave a good space here. I'll try and get it in the right position. You have to leave a good space along here for the rubber to go in, but more importantly, this needs to be in line with this crease here, because there's a piece that goes on the inside which makes the wheel arch, and that's why they have to be at that position. So I'll take you around and show you the other side. So you can see that side. I'll come back out again. The other. So again, you can see that it has to be straight in line. This one is slightly different. It has a different type guard on it, but they have to be at that angle, otherwise it don't bolt together properly. What I'll have to do now is I've welded all along here, as you can see. If that's in your face a bit maybe. There you go. And now I have to finish off this piece here and lead load it. And there was a little skim of filler on it, you can see there, which with the heat of welding has come off, but that's why we didn't do anything with it. And that will be lead loaded now. So yeah, so that's what I've gone on with today. So I had some friends over, which you'll see in the video. So they're at the end of the video. They came over to see us today. So there we are. So that's them two in. What I'll do is I'll lift the bonnet for you, and then you can see how it looks. So I'll open these latches and I'll let the bonnet go forward so we can see. Okay, so now you can see the angles that go in here. This has to be now brought up in line with this. This will be slightly rounded off, and then on this side is where the battery is fitted, so there's a battery tray to go in here to support it, and on that side is where the air filter sits. So I'll now put them brackets in on top, and then this will all be lead loaded and finished off and painted before we take it back to Nigel. So yeah, there we are. But they're both in on each side and they're nicely lined up. So I just need to do some extra welding work and get it all finished off for Nigel. So, and hopefully at the end, this one, I'll turn this around. Should look like that when it's done. I'll move this over a little bit. This is my car. I've got to do a little bit of work with this. Yeah, I have to do a bit of work on it. The top steering column on this, the bushes have gone. It's only done 5,000 k. There must be some issue with it. So I'm going to have to take the top steering column out and redo. They're just plastic bushes, and they're just making a bit of a noise, a clunking noise. So I'll take them out, see if they're damaged, and if not, I'll put a new set in anyway. But I'll re-grease them and see if that's the trouble. But it's only done 5,000, which is really nothing. But there you go. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll catch in tomorrow. I'm going to be working on the Mini, because now I've got this basically where I need it. It's just finishing up work, and I'll take the doorstep off the Mini. But I'll show you me cutting it off and a few of the things that I'm doing, so you can actually see what I'm doing. Have a look on YouTube. Look on YouTube. Yeah, I'm going to put you on YouTube. I'll see you at Dean Stag. Take care, guys. Have a good day. Oh yeah.